Welcome back to the show. Entertainment, summertime. We have talked numerous times about the fantastic theater we have here locally, and we were excited to be part of the opening recently, actually not too long ago, the St. Jacobs Country Playhouse Theater 2. So we were really thrilled to find out they would be putting on a performance this year that has certainly received accolades from anyone who has ever seen it too. It is world-renowned. It is Cats. It's very exciting, too, and a lot of people may have gone, Cat? We're doing Cats here locally. You bet they are, in a big way. You're going to see a clip of that in a second. Please welcome the director, Dave Campbell, who joins us today. Thanks for popping by.
Thanks so much, Mark.
Am I right to say that with an undertaking this big, you have been very busy over the last while?
Yeah, we haven't been sleeping a whole bunch over there, but we're pretty excited about what we got to show you now.
I want to start here, because if you're doing a performance that really had millions of dollars and has been seen around the world, it's like, okay, here's the level by which you're starting. It's not a little unknown performance nobody knows about, too. Does it put more pressure on you at all, or is it a lot of adapting?
Absolutely not adapting, but understanding that people have expectations. And for a lot of people, they will tell me that this is the first show that they ever saw, or the first mega musical. And that's not a surprise, because really, Cats is and was the first mega musical.
It really, yeah, it was. That's a good point. Yeah, absolutely.
Not only did it introduce the mega musical to Canada when Marlene Smith brought the show here, because we never had anything but tours before Cats, but there really was no such thing. And then they started incorporating sort of more spectacle into what we traditionally have just done musical theater. So how do I get back to that spot? It was originally developed in London to be done as theater in the round, and it was on so there was no ons and offs, no wings, and everybody sat very close to the stage. So there was an intimacy to the junkyard, like you were virtually in the Cats junkyard.
Okay.
And that's part of the whole mystery of, like, the show almost occurs around you. So something that's great about St. Jacobs Playhouse is it's a very wide proscenium and it's a very wide seating area, so everybody is very close to the stage. So in some ways, I've been able to recreate the excitement which it was originally intended for. Like when you start doing this in a 2,000-seat venue, yes, it's spectacular, but you miss out on that immediacy about that little thing that Cat is doing. So
less about it's happening there and I'm here. This is more,
you're right.
You said.
You're
right there,
in the show, and the Cats come right off the stage and get involved in the audience and play with the cast. I've recreated a modern version of the junkyard that plays tribute to the John Napier set, which I think was brilliant. We've adapted the costumes for the Millennium. They're brighter than the original, but based on the original designs. But we've painstakingly created every step of Gillian Lynn's original choreography.
Oh, is that fantastic?
So this is the show you saw if you saw the show in Toronto.
Before we give you a glimpse of what this is actually going to, how it will play out on stage, give us a little background on it too. And I've read a bit of the story, but I'll do you the honors too. We'll go back to the late 30s.
Well, I mean, this all started with a series of poems that T.S. Eliot used to write. There were children's poems that he wrote, and he loved to make up names for cats. That was really his bit, is he just loved the idea of like creating names, and then afterwards creating characteristics. Like he'd say, Skimbleshanks, what kind of cat would that be? It's sort of a persnickety name. Maybe he'd be very fussy.
The mood that would fit it. Oh, okay.
Right, and then it's like, what would his job be? So then you go on to the next phase. So soon he's the railway cat. There's a schedule. When they first attacked them as children's stories, they were like, this is great, but there's no story. There's no plot line. These are just vignettes. And then T.S. Eliot's widow found this poem, and it's Grisabella the Glamour Cat, and it's the first 8 lines. And he realized within those 8 lines that it wasn't a children's story. Indeed, that was an adult story. There's something hard about her life. She's had a hard life, and he stopped, and he didn't finish it. So when they found that, they went, there's the plot line. And they adapted that cat using lyrics from Rhapsody on a Windy Night. And they created the song Memory and adapted bits and pieces of poem to make her story tie all the pieces together.
Isn't that fantastic, too?
It's really fascinating when you start watching for it, and it actually, you see it trail through the show when you look for it.
You know what, without, let's say no more, we'll chat in a sec. Let's just watch a little glimpse of what you will see on stage if you attend this performance. Look at this.
There isn't any use for you to tell. find myself. No, so you catch me right up to my knees and you put away on a lot of shells.
A little bit of Cats, St. Jacob's Country Playhouse Theater, too. You could have told me that was a big, giant theater in any big city. You've done a fabulous job on the set.
Thank you. We've done everything we can to give you. I would put this production of Cats up against anyone and say that anything shortcomings we have in a smaller theater, we've given you something in another area.
Yeah, and I mean, that looked impressive on a screen, and I was talking to the fact it's hard to capture a live theater on a screen, so I can only imagine for those in the audience there that were part of the preview yesterday. Talk to the cast. Looks very talented, the cast.
Well, I'll just go back to the clip that you just saw. That was Rum Tum Tugger, the rock and roll cat, is being played by just a spectacular performer, Mike Jackson, who comes to us directly from being on Broadway for 2 years in Chicago and being on national tours with Contact. He's quite representative of the caliber of cast we have. 8 of the people in this show have performed in Cats in previous productions, either in Toronto.
Is that person in the production, or did he just grab her out of the audience? So it's interactive.
It's a little interactive from time to time. He just, there's a secret for me. But yes, someone's going to get harassed every night at some point or another. But we actually have 2 people in the show. Our girl playing Grisabella, who's now Janet Martin, a fabulous singer, played a kitten in the original Toronto production and is now playing the lead. And as well, in the earlier clip, which we opened with, the Gumby cat was playing the playful Rumpleteazer in the opening of the show in Toronto, and is now back playing the older, wiser Jelly Lorem.
Isn't it great they've had that experience, and now they're part of this too? They can bring with them.
It parallels their life, really.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they bring everything of their career as well back to the show 20 years later, and I can't imagine how spectacular that is for them too.
Music is huge in this too, isn't it?
It's completely, there is no show much like this. This combines opera, it combines ballet, and it combines theater because it's completely sung through. The score never stops, and there's not a single line delivered. This is
interesting.
It's completely sung show.
Just loosely, the plot is?
The plot is, once a year, the Jellicle cats gather in the junkyard, and the Jellicle leader selects the next cat that is going to be able to go on to the Heaviside layer and go on to the next of its 9 lives.
So kind of like the opening of the House of Commons?
Sort of something like that, except I'm hoping more interesting.
Dave Campbell is the director of Cats. St. Jacob's Country Playhouse. How long will the productions play out?
The production right now is running until August the 5th, but it is 78% sold already, so if you want a ticket, I would suggest that you get out there and order it fast. There's lots of great seats available, but, you know, time is of the essence.
You think about summertime activities, something that may not be top of mind, but what a great event to just go with the family, something like this.
Absolutely.
Accessible and fun.
Yeah, it's good for really any age group. You can take seniors, love it, children like it. It's one of those things that tells, it's a little slice of life, and there's some cat that'll remind you of yourself or somebody you know. So there's always something.
There's a relatability to it. Isn't that fantastic, too? www.draytonentertainment.com for more information on tickets, and get up there and get them soon. Thanks for your time today.